there, tomato heads. Lauren here, Mrs. Tomato Head. Welcome to Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce, a show that I come to you with on Thursdays where we talk tomatoes, I ramble about tomatoes, and I have fun with all of my friends, all of you guys out there. If it's your first time watching, welcome. I like coming live just so we can have this conversation together. We're more than just your casual tomato grower. Or if you start as a casual tomato grower, you will not end a casual tomato grower. Anybody out there, and I see a lot of comments already, I will get to them in a minute. Maybe you started as a casual tomato grower and then you join my group that I run with Jen Joy and Kina Tonarud, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook, which it's a phenomenal place. Anybody out there who's a member of the community will tell you it's much more than a swap. We really just honor tomatoes. Or then you watch my shows. When you watch the live shows, you get to be a little bit more than a casual tomato grower. I encourage you to watch with two things. Well, first, leave your troubles at the door because no troubles belong in our tomato bubble here. Watch with a notebook, watch with a pen, because you may just hear about a variety or two that you may want to add to your wish list. When a variety I talk about is available somewhere, I try to put a link, but they're not always available. It's really just like supposedly the 10 tomatoes I'm obsessed with this week. But it's really like I'm obsessed with all of them every week. So I guess it's just a little more like which tomatoes I'm most obsessed with this week. I don't know. But we are recorded also. So for those of you whose this time doesn't work, you are, what happened on Instagram? It says it's not working on Instagram. I wonder if I can start that again. I don't know. That's strange. Oh, well. It's live on YouTube, live on, weird. Let me see if I can connect it again. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The Instagram thing is kind of strange. So when people watch from Instagram, I can't see your comments. I don't know why. Let me see if I can connect it again. Will it let me? No, it won't. It's worked in the past, but people can watch on Instagram, but I can't see your comments. It's only on if you're watching on Facebook or my YouTube channel. Anyway, I have a very long problem history with not getting to comments in a timely manner, and then I get very far behind. So let's say hi, but start by saying hi to some of our friends. Hi, Diana. Glad you're here. Hey, Heidi's here. Hello. Sherman S. Happy Thursday. Hello, Lauren. Welcome, fellow tomato enthusiasts. Don't you guys agree? Like maybe you start off as a casual tomato enthusiast, but or a casual tomato grower, but then all of a sudden, like maybe you have this yard and a corner of the yard is devoted to growing tomatoes. And then all of a sudden it starts increasing where you have very little yard left. It's all growing tomatoes. Or we find, just another raised bed, which is what I've done to Rob these past 2 years. It's like just one more raised bed. This year was 4 more. And I think we're done. I don't have the heart to ask him for more. And I think maxing out at 150 regular or dwarf varieties, excluding micros, that's a whole other thing for me. That's about all I can handle. It's it's really not manageable. It's just to the brink of like insanity, because it is insanity. Just to the brink where I can still take pictures, I can save seeds, I can write reviews with 150 varieties, because then I have like 100 something micros, which is a whole other insanity. Anyway, let's get back to comments. Blah Blah's here. Hello. Glad you're here. Lucas is here. Hi, Lucas. I have a couple things I want to show you this week. Not you, Lucas, particularly, but you guys here. Blah blah wants to know, anyone buy seeds from yesterday's unboxing? So for anybody that may not have seen it, who's unboxing? Oh, yesterday was Kids Seed Company. Kids Seed Company unboxing. I've done a lot of unboxings lately, and I have several more to do. I just got a forgotten heirlooms order today. Tomate de Charme I've had for a while. I've got Bad Skin's Garden. What did I do? I did Vienna seeds. I did Bounty Hunter seeds. Lots of orders. I'm waiting for, there's one variety I wanted to talk about today, and I'm going to save it for when the order comes in. I'm super excited about this variety. I had never heard of it before. I was going to talk about it last week, but and it's coming from France, is all I'll tell you. Kina and Jen know about it, but I thought rather than inundate the vendor, I said once I get the order in, I'm going to do an unboxing. So I'm going to wait for that to share. But it's very much a Lauren looking tomato. And I've talked to the owner. I introduced myself, and she's very, very nice. Rowena's here. Hi, Rowena. We're back for more. Yeah, you guys, you hang in there with me. If I were you, I'd be sick of me, but I'm glad we like to talk tomatoes. Hi, Deborah. I love how we're all calling you blah blah now, Susan. I did blah blah. What did you buy, Jamie? What'd you get? I did speak. I got a very sweet email from the team, the family team behind Kids Seed Company, from yesterday's unboxing, that the entire family watched together, mom, dad, kids, and they loved it. And they did say they were getting orders, and that made me feel good. It's not like we're doing it just to be nice. They've got great varieties. So, yeah, I'd love to hear if you guys placed an order. What did you order? What are you excited for? Olivia's here. Hello, hello. I'm talking about a couple varieties today that actually came from Canada. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Canadian varieties are great. The problem is you can order from the vendor now. They cannot ship because right now, this is November 21st, 2024. The Canadian Post Office is under strike. I sure hope for you guys in Canada that it is over soon. I think this company, I read on the website today, I think they said they're still accepting orders, but they cannot ship until a strike is over. So keep that in mind. Blah, blah, you ordered Tokyo Micro. Yeah, I had a feeling that's going to be a popular one. And Jamie got Tokyo Micro and San Francisco Sunrise. That was the other one I thought would be super popular. So glad. Hi, Mike. Glad you're back. Teresa Begin. Thank you, Teresa. You have to see. Teresa sent me, I got this in the mail. I mean, this is just one example. You guys are always so generous. I didn't know she was sending these. She just wanted to donate all these seeds for like giveaways and stuff. And I still have Harley and Mike's. They've got, is that just the envelope? Yeah. Harley the Swamp Bitch, and Mike Giroux. This is all seeds of unknown, just kind of like a magical mystery tour of tomato seeds that I need to give away. I've stopped giving away prizes for now so I can catch up. But if anybody, and this is no pressure on anybody, but if anybody wants to do a giveaway themselves, I'd be happy to start one. I didn't even think about starting a wheel, but maybe we just take a week off from prizes. But if anybody feels strongly about it, let me know. I can start a wheel up pretty quickly. What else? Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people having crazy weather today. I know Sam, I don't know if Sam's here. She's got snow. I know there's something called a what's it called? Cyclone? I don't know. But for any of you getting extreme weather, wishing for your safety, and like I think I said this yesterday too, warmth, safety, shelter. Hi, Claudia. Glad you're here. Very glad you're here. Hi, Michelle. Glad you're here. Sandra B. Look at me. I'm Sandra B. By the time we're we're over. Like I'm going to have a nickname for all of you. I'll have a song for all of you. This is what I do. Hi, Naray. Glad you're here. Amy D. Hi, Sue. Sue's here. Hi, Tomato Peeps. Lovely to be here. We're getting 11 inches of snow tonight. Oh my gosh. I shared, I think, yesterday, and I don't want to assume that any of you are watching me every day, so that's why I kind of backtrack a little bit. I had said, if anybody watched yesterday, that we've had our first rain since mid-September, and it's still raining today. We had a couple drops the other day, but now this is actually a day of rain, not hard rain, but rain, desperately needed. I don't know how our well doesn't dry up, but thankfully it does not. I heard somebody on the news this morning say, it's raining here for the first time since 1971. I laughed out loud on that one. Hi, Tara Dove. Glad you're here. We love our Thursdays, don't we? There's Sam. Hey, Sam. I know she was doing some gardening stuff in the snow, or not in the snow, but staying in from the snow. Hi, Deb. Got my pen paper handy. I'm ready to fall in love. I've got some with really cool stories today. I noticed there's a lot of reds today, which you guys, if you know me, you know I'm not really that into reds normally, although this year is kind of turning me around. Definitely bacon, lettuce in this. And then, not a close second, but Ed's Millennium, Asol, and Pamiati Corneva were 3 very good reds. But this next year is going to be the year of the pinks, the Spanish pinks, and a couple other pinks too. So I'm going to try those. I hear they're better than reds. I've grown a couple, but I want to pay more attention this year. Hi, Pretty. Glad you're here. Grow, cook, eat, repeat. Hi, Cynthia. Karen's here. Hello. Nicole Smith Gardening. Hi, Nicole. Glad you're here. I love that you all say hi to each other. That's really nice. Hi, Kim. Glad you're here. And Hector. Hector's here. Hey there. My buddy Keena is here. Hi, Keena. Glad you could join us. Kristen Morrison. Glad you could join us. Me and my shadow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello there. Glad you could join us too. My Happy Place. Hi, My Happy Place. And Cynthia says, this group has taught me more than I could ever imagine about tomatoes. I had no idea there were so many. I would venture to guess most of us felt that way. I've been growing tomatoes for 30 years, and even I didn't know there were so many. It's pretty exciting. Love the Instagram photos. Thank you. I started yesterday kind of asking if you guys are on Instagram to follow me on Instagram. It's at Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I'm setting an intention to be more active with it. I've got a lot of good pictures, but I'm trying to add more. So if you are on Instagram, I would appreciate a follow. I got a couple yesterday after I suggested it. So follow me on Instagram, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. Justin, hashtag tomatoes. Hi, Brian. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. What else we got? We've got like 70 people viewing now, and that's without Instagram because that flaked out on us for some reason. So that's great. This group is an enabler. I know, Hector. I know. Guilty as charged, for sure, but it's fun. Thanks, Sandra. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Help grow Lauren's channel. Thank you. I really need to ask Jen, now that I'm over 1,000, what do I do to get, I think I'm getting monetized, but I don't know how to collect the money. It's probably like 1 cent, but I should really probably find that out. I'm too busy researching tomatoes to figure this stuff out. Who's good? Sherva's here. Hi, Sherva. Nice to see you. And Odlet's here. Deb, you bought seeds from Kids Seed Company. Excellent. Blah blah wants to know, how do I water all the tomatoes outside? Not often. I will tell you that. Jen, Joy, and I kind of have the same. I don't know. I don't water a lot. I water when they first go in the ground, and normally, unless it's very desperate measures, everything that's in the ground and in the raised beds, I should say. If it's in like the green stalk or in grow bags, I water those. But I kind of let nature take its course. Now, this year we definitely had a drought, and I did have to water maybe once, maybe twice. But normally I don't. We have clay soil, but of course I mix in all kinds of amendments, worm castings and mycorrhizal fungi and all that. But honestly, I know Jen's tomatoes really suffered with her drought, and then of course the deer eating them all. Mine didn't suffer. In fact, I think my tomatoes actually tasted better because of the drought. I can't scientifically prove that, but I have heard that can be. So now, if it was like this and it hadn't rained in 2 months, and actually we were kind of bordering on that, I would have to water. And I do have a very long hose, one of those like, gets to be this big and then expands to this big. But we really don't water very often at all. And mushroom compost. Mushroom compost is a gift from the gods if you can get your hands on it. I know not everybody can. Sandra says, I bought 4 packs from Kids Seed Company. Very excited for the spotted bee balm. I did not see that. And I didn't do anything with my cart yet. So I'm going to have to check that out. Thanks for the heads up. Pretty said she bought some seeds yesterday. That's so great. Becca wants to know, is it green? Not sure if you're talking to me, Becca, or not. Not sure what's green. You Grow Row. Make sure you guys subscribe to her channel, You Grow Row. She's got a great gardening channel. Nicole Smith Gardening also. Drew says, your gardens were awesome, Lauren. Rob is the man. He is the man. He is the man. I love him. Today, November 21st is a day that Rob and I call Garbage Day. And it's kind of funny because it actually happens to fall on Garbage Day this year. November 21st, 1986, Rob asked me out on our first date. We started going out. That was the term back then. I don't know if it still is. Probably not. My younger nieces say, like, you start off as you're talking and then I don't even know. But anyway, so yes, today is, and so 1 year after we were married, it was November 21st. And I said, do you know what today is? And Rob jokingly said Garbage Day because it was Garbage Day. So we call the anniversary of our first date Garbage Day. And so if my calculations are correct, it's 38 years since we went out on our first date. And we had a little minor breakup that lasted like a month, but other than that, we've been together ever since. Hi, Haley. Nice to see you. And now all these years later, we're Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I've shared this before, but this poster you see behind me we've always lived in this house, but it used to be a ranch. Now Rob spent a year designing it. And now it's, I don't know what you call it, colonial 2-story. And it was in our original kitchen 30 years ago. And we thought it was long gone from the construction. And Rob found it in the attic last year sometime. And so I'm like, oh, it'd be great to have that in the live streams. And so he figured out a way. He's just like that. He always figures out a way. Deb has met him. Who else? Anybody else met him? Deb, you may be the only person that's actually met Mr. Tomato Head in this crew. Who else would have? He didn't come when I met Jen. Yeah, Deb, you may be the only one. Heidi, I don't think you've met him at all. Interesting. Snowing in Indiana right now, says Cynthia. Nicole, make sure you subscribe to her channel, guys. She's adorable. I had frost on my windshield this morning. I'm near Houston. First frost date is November 20th, so I guess we're on time. Funny, ours, we had, I was convinced, our first average frost date is October 15th. And I'm always like, yeah, it's starting to get warmer and all of that stuff. So I'm like, it's not going to be frost on October 15th this year. Do you know what? We had our first frost was on October 15th. And of course, it's been warm ever since, so I could still have tomatoes out there. Oh, well. Brian says, your first freeze is coming tonight. I was picking tomatoes last night until almost 11. I feel for you. I was noticing today, so I picked all my tomatoes, of course, on October 14th when we got the frost warning, and I picked all my peppers too. Do you know I still have a bin of peppers, like a lot of peppers? They were all green. I didn't think they'd turn, but they all turned. They're a little squishy, but they're not rotting or anything. And then, of course, I've got I still have a few tomatoes on my countertop. A couple of the like the Eastside Crystal, I think, is one of them. I think a Kazula multicolor. What else do I have up there? A couple Bananas Noir, and then a whole bunch of Banyale Bufar long keepers. Wow, does that thing produce? It's a really good one. Deborah, 93 degrees here down under. I'm jealous. We'll be there in no time, but I'm happy to see you. It's always nice that people on the other side of the world from us, we get to enjoy their tomato season while we're planning our year, and vice versa for them. Yvette, hi Yvette, first snow here in France. Aw, what a bummer. Although pretty, I'm sure. We haven't had that yet. I mean, we haven't even had rain, so now you watch, we have our first rain in 2 months and we're going to get a blizzard. Linda's here. Hi, Linda. Glad you're here. Missy, I bought a second group of seeds from Kids Seed Co., flowers and herbs. Nice. I saw some flowers I want to get also. Lisa Lloyd, hi Lisa. I got peppers and more. I'm so glad. I know I said it a lot yesterday. I don't know how they escaped me until now, but boy, I'm so glad we've connected. They are the nicest people. They've got a nice little business going there. I love how it's a family thing that they do. And, it's nice that they've got varieties that we are excited about too. Hi, Anthony. Happy anniversary. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't even know what we did on our first date. I have it written down, and I kept a scrapbook when we were first dating. I think we went to the movies. We did. We did go to the movies. We saw, I'm going to be dating myself. We saw a movie with, what's his name? It was called White Nights. It was with Gregory Hines. Is it Mikhail Baryshnikov, the dancer? It was a big movie back in 1986. I'm pretty sure that was our first date. And I held his hand on our second date. Hi, Satya. Another wintry day getting over the bomb cyclone. That's the word or the term I was looking for. What is a bomb cyclone exactly? Is it a lot of rain? Trees down everywhere. Happy to be here with you all. I'm glad you're safe, Satya. Y'all were going steady. 1986 was a good year. I have to show you guys something. Hang on. It's right over here. Maybe I've shown it before. So because we started dating when I was 16, we went to both our junior and senior proms together. Wait till you see the hair. This was junior year. Look at those little baby Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. Look at the hair. How my hairdresser got that hair to look like that, I don't know. But I will tell you, it was flat like this within 2 hours. My hair is not meant to do this. Woo, that's some hair. I loved that dress. It was Jessica McClintock, and it's hard to see from here, but it was like white and pink stripes. I thought it was so cool. And then this is our senior prom. Silver lame dress. The hair's a little less crazy, but not much. So this was 1987. Little Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Heads. I have them in a frame over there. So today we celebrate Garbage Day. Missy, my husband and I started dating in November 6th, 1987. Broke up once for 24 hours. Been together since. Aw, that was like our breakup too. And then we went to separate colleges. I went to the University of Rhode Island, and he started at Rutgers University here in New Jersey. So we were like 4 or 5 hours away from each other. So we did the long distance thing. We didn't really say we want to stay together. We just kind of thought, like, of course, I wanted to stay with him, but sometimes distance can get the better of us. And we definitely were shaky sometimes, but just because we missed each other so much. But we did it. We did it. Teresa, we're in the midst of the atmospheric river or bomb cyclone. Somebody, I know I'm behind in comments. Somebody tell me. I need to know it. It sounds scary. Bomb cyclone sounds scary. Mr. Tomato Head is fantastic live in color. Aw, you're so sweet. Hi, Riverdale Gardens. October 11th was our first here. Frost. I was thinking at first, I'm like, oh, you started dating October 11th. No, it was your first frost here. Yeah, 'tis the season, right? Hi, Eva. 71 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny here in Southern California. That sounds lovely. Oh, the big hair days. I know. I had perms. Perms were really big back then, but I'm telling you this, and the work I have to do just to get this kind of body, I mean, it's thick, but it is straight. It is not meant to do anything else. And I'm glad, because honestly, I'm not really a fan of this look. I guess I was at the time. I don't know. But my hairdresser, I went the other day to get my natural color put back in, and I was talking about the perms and stuff, and she's like, they're coming back in style, and I'm like, don't ever talk me into that, because I won't do it. Michelle says we may possibly get a frost tomorrow, but it's going to warm back up next into the 70s. What crazy weather, huh? Aquanet hairspray. Oh, I can still smell it. I can still smell it. Oh, Lord, that hair. If you hadn't said that was you, I wouldn't have believed it. Look at I don't know, is the face that different? Forget the hair. Oops. I don't know. I don't think the face is that different. Can you? Forget the hair. Rob's got more hair then, that's for sure. I don't know. I look very young. Missy, I wore Jessica McClintock for my prom, Southern Belle style. I picked it out from 17 magazine. Did you guys get 17 magazine? Oh, you young ones were like talking old people stuff here. Do they even have 17 magazine anymore? But I remember the prom issues. It was dress after dress, and that pink and white stripe one, I picked it out from 17 magazine. Justin, 30 degrees Celsius here in Australia for the next 4 days. Great tomato growing weather. That sounds lovely. Heidi, I remember hearing this, the higher the hair, the closer to God. That's a Jersey girl statement if I ever heard one. Okay, this is what a bomb cyclone is. It's central air pressure dropping to at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. They are referred to as bomb cyclones due to the explosive power of these storms caused by the rapid fall in pressure. Interesting. Scary, but interesting. I was just thinking when you talked about the change in the atmosphere, a lot of members of my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, their pain greatly exacerbates with pressure from rain. They can feel it almost before the rain starts. So I hope anybody that's out there in my group, I hope they're having an okay time with it. Face is still the same. Thanks for Roland. I kind of put you on the spot. You kind of had to say that, didn't you? Michelle Swingle remembers 17 magazine. Oh, that was great. Jamie says a bomb cyclone is known as winter hurricane, cold and strong. All right. We need to get to tomatoes at some point, but I do have a couple announcements. One is, for those of you that may have a cart going at Bounty Hunter Seeds, hold off, because tomorrow Sean from Bounty Hunter Seeds is going to be posting in the group a 10% off he's calling it Black Friday sale, but it's going to be this weekend through Monday. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. It's a great way to take advantage of all the great varieties. If you didn't watch my unboxing of his, I think it was last week, but you can check it out on my YouTube channel, which you're probably watching on now. And I showed he's got some amazing, great varieties. So good chance to get 10% off if you've got a cart going there. And then a couple other things. I wanted to show you some progress on a couple of my micros I'm working on. So the first one I started, I called Drop the Micro. It's on the F3 generation now. What happens when you cross a tomato is the F1 generation, the very first one, is what you grow after you cross it. So you cross a tomato, or you cross and then you tag it, and then the tomato that comes from that will look just like it's supposed to from the regular plant, but you save seeds from that. Then you grow out the F1, and that any F1 is going to look exactly the same. So I grew out a bunch of Drop the Micro plants. They were these beautiful kind of bicolor with a nipple at the end, a beak, whatever you call it, large beauties. That was the F1. Then the F2 I grew this summer came up with all kinds of great things, including a white one, which I know Haley's excited about, and a couple others. So that's one that I grew like 16 plants, and I didn't go ahead with many of them, but I'm going ahead with 3. The white one, my regular Drop the Micro, which I'm calling plant 1, and then plant 6, which is this really pretty bicolor too. But I wanted to show you now in the F3 generation how different 2 of the plants look. So these were planted on the same day. I'll try to hold it up a little. Definitely quite a size difference, right? The shorter one, and I'm excited for this because look at all the flowers on this. Lots and lots of flowers. And then the fruits are starting to come. Check it out. Why can I not find the camera? I am live all the time and I can't. The camera's right in front of me, Lauren. Okay. So still has the beak at the end. I'm curious to see how big they get, because in the F2 generation, they are getting about this big. And then this one, you can see, I don't know if I can hold these up evenly, but quite a bit shorter. However, so far, the fruits are so far a little larger. You can see one down here. Not quite as many flowers as the other one. So it's just interesting, isn't it? I find it very interesting to make these crosses and see what comes out. Now I know what I'm looking for in this particular variant when I'm selecting for. So from now, like I'm growing about six plants of these, and I'll choose from my favorite and then go on from there. And then I had another cross that I tasted a couple weeks ago with you guys on live on the air. It's Candy Berry and Tiny Totem cross, and it was phenomenal. Just looks like your standard red cherry plant. Got to be 10 to 12 inches maybe. Yeah, and I grew a few of those. And when I tasted it, the brick score was 8.3. And I have tasted several since then because I grew a lot. It went up. I tasted one the other day and I tested 8.8. It's like unheard of in the micro world. So it's basically, they just look like candy berry, but larger. So I'm excited for that one. And then I started so many F1s, more F1s than I need. So somebody suggested, I think it was one of you guys. I know it's one of you guys. I just don't remember which one of you guys, that you were giving away plants as Christmas gifts. And I remember thinking, oh, shoot, I wish I'd started micros early. I gave away some last year, but I thought I'd missed the boat for this year. And then I remembered I have all these Candy Berry Tiny Totem F1 plants. No, F2 plants that I'll give to friends and family. They're not going to save seeds and, give them out. So I have no worries of that. So I bought these cute little pots on Amazon. And so I won't be giving these out for a month. By the time, a month comes, these will be a really nice size to give away. There's a little plug at the bottom so I can give it away without them getting wet. But I swear I can give away probably 10 of these and still have plenty left over for me to do my selection. But aren't they cute? This, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like a rust and white color. I've got some silver ones coming too. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm thinking, should I say what I'm thinking of calling? I had this idea to give it away, and maybe I don't call it the correct name to the who I'm giving it away to because they won't care. But since it's a candy berry cross, I was thinking of calling it Berry Kissmas. What do you think? Berry Kissmas. They're not going to care about the name. Only I'm going to care about the name, but I thought that was very clever. And they have those on Amazon for anybody else that's interested. So I love those amazing gifts. I mean, let's be honest, they'll probably all kill them, but I have them growing already and they look so great and healthy. I've got plenty that I need for selecting and moving forward with. I've got perlite all over the place now to go out for to select for F3. So yeah, I'm excited. They won't know how special they are, but I think it's a nice gift, especially for the adults, because we, like Rob's aunt and cousins and all of that, we don't give to each other normally, or sometimes a box of chocolates or something. So I thought those were cute. Do you like the name Rowena? Berry Kissmas? Maybe I'll keep it that name. I mean, it keeps the candy berry part in it. I was thinking of putting TLC in it, so it's like our micro. Not that it won't go elsewhere, but yeah. Oh, Lucas, you think that's a good name? Berry Kissmas. Thanks. Jerry's here. Hi, Jerry. Glad you're here. Those are cute. Do you have a link for the pot? I don't. Let me find it quickly, though. I think it'll be easy. I meant to get it, and I forgot. Let's see. Here it is. And they've got several different colors. Okay. I will put it in the chat right now. Berry Kissmas tomato. I think I like it. Okay, it should be in the chat now. Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary. Glad you like the name too. I don't know if I missed any comments here. Yeah, Jamie, check out the link I just put in. They've got like 10 different colors. And they're, I don't think they were that, how much were they? Let's see. Oh, they weren't that cheap. 6 of them for $26.99. They could, for all, I don't know if they'll be on sale for Black Friday or not. Here, let me see if I can share it. Hang on. This is them. And then they have silver, red, some with snowflakes, stars. Super pretty. Oh, the black is nice too. So there you go. So I wanted to show off my little gifting idea. Okay. So what are we going to talk about with tomatoes this week? I don't have a rhyme or reason. I keep meaning to, I still haven't put up all the micros I grew this year. Not really procrastinating. I just haven't had time. And I was going to do that for today and didn't get around to it. But now I have an ongoing list of varieties I come across that have great stories that either I have or I would like, or just heard about the variety and I'm excited about it. So here, I can close this out, I think. Okay, so this first one, I was given seeds by my friend Mike. Hi, Mike. And Jen and I actually referenced it on our show. By the way, Jen and I have part 2 of our Tomato Talk Live November episode tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We were going to talk about, I think, the 10 varieties we're most excited for 2025. I don't know how many we got to, but it wasn't 10. So we're going to continue and have another one tomorrow. So for anybody that can watch, we will be there. But anyway, this one, it's called Old Carolina, also known as Nell Bryson. It's from the United States. And these are really special. I'm going to be growing these next year. It is part of the Slow Food USA Association, which I'm a sucker for. It says Nell Bryson was an avid gardener. A housewife, she lived in North Carolina, and like many Southerners, saving her seeds was an essential part of keeping her garden going. She probably saved seeds in her freezers most years, but in 1948, she happened to save one pack of just 10 little tomato seeds that for some reason or another wouldn't see the light of day until 68 years later. The Nell Bryson tomato, also known as the Old Carolina tomato, has two names because its full story is still being uncovered. What we do know, however, is that it's an unusually big tomato. Fruits can be between 1 to 1.5 pounds, and unlike most large tomato breeds, it doesn't seem to stop producing after just a few tomatoes have grown. Bevan Cohen, the owner of Small House Farm and the provider of these seeds, was shocked when he first grew them, and they continued to produce all season right up until the first frost. And I'm going to read the whole story because it's just too good to not read. Orange and yellow striped with a red core, they don't lack for flavor either. Their intense production and beautiful flavor are what sent him digging for their origin story when he first grew them. He first came across them somewhat by chance at a seed swap in Kentucky in 2016. Pretty sure we know what swap that is, the one in Berea that just happened. When asked by a stranger if he wanted these unknown seeds that had been sitting in a freezer for over 50 years, he couldn't resist. Who could? And why do these things not happen to me? Would you like seeds that were in the freezer for 50 years? Probably because I don't go to seed swaps, but I'm hoping to change that. I want to make one, actually. I want to create a swap here on the East Coast because we just don't seem to have them, and we should. Unusual and rare seeds are what keeps Bevan up at night. I know. Same. A few years later, after writing about these mysterious tomatoes in a book, he reconnected to the seed-swapping stranger on social media who named Nell Bryson as the woman whose freezer they found it in. But a name was all Bevan had to work with until around midwinter in 2021, he came across Nell's daughter, who now owns Bryson Farm Supply in Sylvan, North Carolina. Deborah didn't know where the seeds came from when her family found the seeds in the freezer, and unfortunately by that time Nell was no longer cognizant of her surroundings enough to remember anything about the seeds. These seeds, like the seeds of many home seed savers, were likely bred in Nell's very own garden over the years of her planting them. Perhaps they blended with other tomatoes, either by chance or on purpose. But either way, they seem to be completely unique, and besides the tomatoes that Bevan grows for seeds today, they won't be found anywhere else in the world. To share them is to honor the work of Nell Bryson all those years ago and carry on a small part of the work she did on her plot of land in North Carolina over 70 years ago. How amazing is this story? This is part of what makes growing tomatoes so exciting, is because of stories like this. To know that I have seeds for this, and thank you again, Mike, to know that I have seeds for this that saved in a freezer for 68 years. Holy guacamole. Has anybody grown this? Meyer way. Old Carolina sounds like my kind of tomato. Me too. Cynthia, it's beyond beautiful. I completely agree. Now, those are heirlooms. Gorgeous. What is beeping at my place all the time? And Saudi says, messenger beep. Yeah, it's probably, I get a lot of private messages. It might be that. I get so many I didn't even notice. I should probably put on silence or something. Sorry if it's annoying. Is it still beeping? Because nothing's been happening for a bit. So I think I found this for sale somewhere. Is Eva out there? Has Eva grown it? Eva's grown everything. Hang on, did I find, I did find it. Siskiyou Seeds has it. And I'm going to put that in the chat right now. CISKIYOU Seeds. They have Old Carolina for anybody that's interested. Very special one that I'm honored to have. Oh, the heater. That's the beeping, right? Sorry. It's constant. Like I go hot, I go cold. Yes, that's the beep. Good. Or Diana, that's very observant. I'm not sure I would have thought of that. So yeah, I bend down, turn it on, bend down, turn it off. There's Eva chiming in. I have seeds, but haven't planted them. Bought it from Tomato Galaxy in 2022. How interesting that you got them in Latvia back then. I guess they're making their way around the world. Kina, I have it on my list this year, but it fell off somehow. I should have grown it. Yeah, I'm determined to not let it fall off my list this year because it's really special. Look at the interior and look at the exterior too. It sounds great. And now that I know this full story, I can grow it and like really feel, I don't know, what's the word, like mindful? Is that the right word? Blessed to have these special seeds. I mean, she sold a pack of 10 seeds in the freezer. Great story. Lucas says, I always think it's my fire alarm running out of battery. It does have that sound. Sorry about that. Sam says, Old South Seeds on Etsy has it as well. Good to know. I'm not familiar with Old South Seeds. Here it is. I'm sure that won't be the first time. Good question. I was not aware that. I keep thinking if I'm not right by the microphone, you guys can't hear me that well. But I guess if you hear the heater that well, you definitely would be able to hear me. All right. These next two, Kina and I were kind of digging around a week or so ago. I was placing an order with Common Sense Seeds in Canada. And boy, I got it an order. I've never placed an order with them before. I got it in right under the wire because of the strike. But there's two tomatoes I got a lot of interesting tomatoes from them, but there's two that I have something that I was not aware of at all. Here's the first one, V-Pro. And I've got in parentheses there, the OG has the OG gene. Let me tell you what the OG gene means for those of you that may not know. I certainly did not know. These were bred by Dr. Ernie Kerr in Canada. So it's called the OG high crimson gene. And basically it means it's got more lycopene than other varieties, like a lot more lycopene. And it, it's not genetically modified either. Like they're trying to make these tomatoes now, they're genetically modifying it to be healthier. But there's these with the OG gene. Let me tell you a little bit more about what this means. What does old gold high crimson mean, you ask? Old gold high crimson refers to the OG gene that some tomatoes have. These tomatoes have 25 to 75% more lycopene than standard red tomatoes. And lycopene, for those of you that don't know, it's what's in tomatoes that acts as an antioxidant, prevents us or helps us to ward off things like cancer. It's very, very good for you. And actually cooked tomatoes, when you cook it, it strengthens the lycopene. So actually cooked tomatoes have more lycopene than eating them raw. But look, cooked, raw, whatever, we still get them. It says lycopene is an important antioxidant that has cardiovascular, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory properties. Does the OG gene have anything to do with genetically modifying? No. In the 1950s, Canadian researchers isolated the OG gene in a tomato from the Philippines and developed several tomatoes using the OG gene. These tomatoes were developed using traditional breeding methods in the 1950s to 1980s. These are the tomatoes we offer. What do OG tomatoes taste like? They are some of the best tasting tomatoes we have ever eaten. That is one of the main reasons we grow them. And so for this particular one, V Pro, and my next one is going to be one with the OG gene also. It says fantastic tasting high lycopene paste tomato, sweet with the right balance of tang. V Pro has an exceptionally deep red interior, which is first thing I noticed actually. Solid thick walls. Fruits are square and small sized, early to mid-season, productive right up until first frost. Has a compact sprawling nature that is easy to care for. And then it says, unlike the expensive F1 varieties that are bred for high lycopene, V Pro and other high lycopene tomatoes in our collection are open pollinated. Almost nobody is breeding open pollinated high lycopene tomatoes today, which makes these Canadian bred tomatoes pretty special. Thank you, Dr. Kerr and other scientists of the Canadian tomato breeding program of years past for making these high quality, nutrient dense tomatoes available to home gardeners. And this says V Pro was released in 1977 by Dr. Ernie Kerr, master tomato breeder at the Horticultural Experiment Station in Simcoe, Ontario. Was one of the first high lycopene paste tomatoes released by the breeding program. In 1981, they report that V Pro has excellent cold germination ability and is resistant to fusarium wilt. Has anybody heard of these before? Oh, Drew, you make me feel better. Space Heater's always close. Oh, Kim, you got these from Grafsamina. Really? Interesting. No, and I don't know do you remember in her listing, did she have OG gene next to it? Because the interior of this one, plus there's a whole section on it's commonsenseseeds.ca. And I do have the link to buy these. I'll share it in the chat in a minute. But it was, Keena and I think we were talking about it. Like, what is this OG gene? That sounds really intriguing. More lycopene, interesting. Yes. And Diane, I need these for the anti-inflammatory property. Me too. My illness is definitely inflammatory. So some people say I shouldn't be eating nightshade vegetables, and I say, psh, that's not happening. Lucas says, I got some seeds of Manipal plus some number, I can't remember, has that gene too, but from who I got it said I should use it for breeding because you can get dark green fruits from that. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Lucas. I'm going to maybe start some seeds today. It does say compact. It does not say a size. But let me show you the next one that also has the same gene. It's called Harvest V. Same OG gene, same breeder, same program. Here's the V Pro. I may still do the unboxing for Common Sense Seeds, another unboxing. But Harvest V says it's compact at 24 inches tall. So this, when I realized this today, screamed, plant me, plant me. I really, now that you say that, Lucas, I think I'm going to need to take some pollen and breed these. The interior of the Harvest V doesn't look quite as red as the V Pro, but V Pro doesn't say it's compact. Well, it says it's compact. It just doesn't say a size. Oh, yes, it does. That's 2 feet also. Sprawling. So there you go. Let me put the links to get these again because of the postal strike. They won't ship, but I'm pretty sure the site just says we can't ship now, that they're still taking orders. So first I'll put up the V Pro. This was my first order with Common Sense seeds, and I was really, really happy with it. They've got some great compact varieties. Okay, I just put V Pro. Oops, no, I didn't. Put it in my own chat. Here's V Pro. And here's Harvest V. So now we've all learned something new. Eva, have you grown these? Oh, Kim. It was Old Carolina that the comment was for. Okay, I thought it was interesting that Elena at Grafsamina would have these, but I thought that was pretty cool. Eva says, nice, that would make great tomato sauce. For sure. I can't wait. Who needs those GMO tomatoes? Well, I don't. Just me. That's just me. But these sound fantastic. And they did have one more. Let me pull up the site, actually. Common Sense Seeds. They did have one more that they advertised. Why I didn't get that one, who knows? Let me share the screen here. Okay, this is Harvest V. And they have a whole section. I don't know if you can see it. Off to the side, let me make it a little bigger. Off to the side, you see they've got these categories. Long keeper, micro, and compact. And then right underneath that is Old Gold High Crimson. And of course, the tomato fanatic in me is like, well, what is this? I have to look. They've really got some interesting types. Landrace tomatoes. I know Kina got a couple of those. So the other one I didn't get is called Early High Crimson. This says it's 3 feet tall. Those look nice. And it says one of the original high lycopene tomatoes. Interesting. I may have to put that in the old cart too. Why is it that I do unboxings and I show you new orders and then I'm already adding a new cart? Sick, sick woman. Okay, so that's V Pro. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to show you guys. Harvest V. And in a scientific paper written by Dr. Ernie Kerr and Cook in 1981, introducing the variety, this is Harvest V. They rather understatedly mentioned that Harvest V has a complex, in quotes, ancestry. And then it says, no kidding, take a look. And then they've got these pictures of this study. And I know you're not going to be able to read it all, but let me make it big. Harvest V has a complex ancestry. The late cross was made between a breeding line and V Bright. Several branches trace back through breeding lines to crosses made in 1948 or earlier. Its parentage is, and then, ooh, check it out. Keeps going. You see Rutgers in there, Roma, High Crimson, Red Currant. I mean, complex is an understatement for sure. So they didn't need to genetically modify. They just made a lot of crosses. Why these things aren't more well known, I don't know. But I'm excited to find them now. It's never dull in the world of tomatoes. Always finding something new. RDB Tunerin says Manipal LA3005 have the HP2DG gene for extra lycopene and dark green unripe fruit and dark red ripe fruit. Is this a breeding variety you're referring to? Extra lycopene, dark green unripe fruit and dark red ripe fruit. Interesting. I'll have to look that up. Let me write that down, actually. Well, I can go back and check it out. Thanks, RDB Tunerin. Sorry for your brutalizing your name. Hi, Malin. Glad you're here. Thanks for the mini science lesson. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And RDB Tunerin says, I'm too picky about tomato flavor. LA3005 tastes like a normal tomato. I'm curious about these two being compact, if I can grow them indoors in the winter, and how they taste. For the health benefits, I would totally grow it. Not if it was a bad tomato, but I'm very curious to taste what high lycopene tomatoes look like, and sounds like the flavors are great too. Okay. I didn't quite get to put up 10 varieties this time, so we may actually end the show at a reasonable hour. We shall see. I think I have 8 varieties. Okay. This next one, I don't think I have. I'm not sure how I came about it. I don't have it. But it sounds super interesting. It's called Sicilian Morinda. Has anybody grown it? Has anybody heard of it? Eva, Kina, talking to you both. Sicilian Morinda. It's from Italy. This one article I found, I'm just going to show you what it says in my notes here. This was the title of the article, The Tomato of God. That was what the article was called. It says, the world is full of wonders, most of which you will never discover. When you have had Isle of Wight and San Marzano tomatoes, you think you have done tomatoes. Then you try Sicilian Morinda tomatoes, and the world will never be the same again. These tomatoes are from the Piceno region of Sicily and are harvested between February and May, and for this reason they are known as winter tomatoes. We are told it is the water and salty soil of the region that gives them a flavor and texture rarely matched by other tomatoes. So I have to wonder what it would be like grown here in my climate versus in Italy. Like, I know I can certainly grow San Marzano tomatoes, but unless they're grown in the soil of Mount Vesuvius in Italy, according to tomato experts and those that actually harvest the real San Marzanos, they would say it's not a real San Marzano. But are they right? I don't know. But I wonder how these would fare in my soil. I mean, our climates aren't all that different, but I don't have a volcano near my home either. Let's see. I do not know if it is the water and salty soil, but I've never eaten tomatoes of such amazing character. I will never be able to look any other tomato in the eye again. Ideal, the tomatoes should be picked and eaten when they have a green shoulder. They have a thick skin, are lumpy, and have dense flesh. These are not tomatoes to cook with. They are tomatoes to slice up thinly and relish the incredible texture and flavor, which are so powerful. You'll be tasting and feeling them for hours afterwards. When you slice them up, they seem pretty dense, not unlike a ripe nectarine. This is why you want to slice them thinly. Unlike most tomatoes, Morinda tomatoes do not require much, if any, salt on them. Unless they are sliced, you can grab a sliver and get started on a flavor discovery. By God, do they taste of a lot. You first notice the firm, crunchy texture. Then comes a mixture of rich fruitiness, melons, rambutans, and pears, and a vigorous astringency. Finally, on the finish, you get a lot of acidity. The acidity is not harsh, but powerful nonetheless. I should not have said finally, because these flavors and textures will haunt your palate for ages after you have finished your Morinda tomatoes, and this is an absolute delight. Who has grown this? Who has grown this? Water with salt water. It could be, it says they're in Sicily, so that's down, it could be the seawater for sure. Now, Secret Seed Cartel doesn't have these now as far as I know, but I came across an Instagram post of theirs from 2022, and here's what Terry from Secret Seed Cartel said. We were lucky to be able to try this tomato thanks to a friend. really unique flavor. You can definitely taste the salt they are grown in. So they must be grown in salt water. You're right, Kina. Of course, I saved seeds. And the picture on the upper left is her photo, Secret Seed Cartel. Developed in the late 20th century in Europe, Morinda tomatoes have become one of the most popular varieties in Italy and are known for their slightly salty, rich flavor. The tomatoes are grown in a unique terroir along the southern Italian coastline and are considered a salad tomato, primarily consumed fresh with simple flavoring such as salt and olive oil. They've earned notoriety for their flavor across Europe and are often exported as their thick, firm flesh is durable during transport. Offers an extended shelf life. That could be a winter tomato. I wonder. You're not kidding, a kick-ass write-up. I'm sold too. The question is, did I find seeds for it? I don't think I did, but let me check. No, I didn't. But if anybody comes across them, I would love to do a trade. Absolutely love to do a trade. I wonder, well, never mind. I was going to say, so I will, I may have some avenues I could check out, but that sounds terrific. Oh, I wonder if I have these. You saying this out loud, Kim? I have Morinda seeds from Italy. That is what it is. Some sites called it Sicilian Morinda. Others call it just Morinda. Yeah. Sasha, extended shelf life. This sounds great. You know, the crunchiness of it reminds me of a variety. I wish I could just pull up the picture, but I grew a variety. I got seeds from Tomato Eden this year. It's called, oh shoot, no, I'm losing. It's one of her experimental varieties. Big Green Tulip Festival or Festival Green. Big Tulip Festival Green. And it was so interesting. I mean, it looked like a Lauren tomato because it had the mainly green, but it had the tricolor in it. And we kept waiting. We harvested the first one and we let it ripen on the counter and ripen and ripen. And it just never seemed to get soft. And I'm like, this thing's going to start to rot. So we sliced into it. And I'm not even kidding you. I made a little video. I forget. I may have posted it in the group. It was like slicing into an apple. Like you could hear the crunch. It was really unique and actually an excellent tomato. But it is experimental. So whether or not others got that, I don't know. But Sicilian Morinda sounds like something I need to get my hands on. Cynthia, I just bought some Old Carolina seeds. They were too pretty. I couldn't resist. I agree. There's going to be one tomato coming up that I know Bounty Hunter has. And if you're just joining us, they are going to start a 10% off Black Friday sale tomorrow. He's going to put an announcement in the group. So hold off on ordering from Bounty Hunter until tomorrow. 10% off can be significant. Yeah, I know RDB Tuner and about the San Marzanos. We actually had, Jen and I had on William Alexander, the author of a couple books about tomatoes, but he was a guest on our show a couple months ago, 10 Tomatoes That Changed the World. We had a long discussion about San Marzanos, canned and fresh. So yeah, I know all about San Marzanos, but people do still sell the seeds and call them San Marzanos. But I completely agree with you. They're not super. They're not really San Marzanos. Lisa wants to know where you found Old Carolina. Did I not put, where did I put a link from? Siskiyou seeds. I'll put the link up again if you're interested or you missed it. I'm sure others have it also, but this is where I found Old Carolina seeds. Okay. Kim, someone in Canada, Etsy also sells them. The Morinda, Sicilian Morinda, their pictures on Google look like a U tomato inside. Really? Going to have to research that. Good to know. And Eva loves the rib shape. Yeah, me too. It's beautiful. Okay, on to the next one. So the tomato of God is what this one reviewer, and that article was taken from a place called, it looks like an article from a publication called The Elitist. I love it. Okay. So I basically could fill up tons of episodes with Sophia Sakova varieties. I mean, I'm trying not to do all Sophia because sometimes they're hard to get. She's just a genius. So I had to include at least one this one. Oh, that's not the right one. Did I skip one? Did I miss it? Did I screw something up? Okay, I must have missed the slide. Hang on, let me see if I uploaded it or not. Did I make it? Oh, here it is. Looks like I actually clearly put 2 Sophia tomatoes in here. We'll get to this one in a minute. This is the one I want to talk about now, called Very Sweet Blues. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me make the picture larger. So Sophia, for those of you that aren't aware, she is a very talented breeder from Russia, putting out so many different varieties. Many people grew Sophia's caramel last year. Most of what she offers right now seems to be in the F6 generation. Tomato Eden has a ton of her stuff. I got this from Tomato Eden. And it's just beautiful. Oh, Croatian Seed Store has this. I don't believe they ship to the United States. In fact, I'm pretty certain they do not. But for those of you in Europe, you can get some of her seeds from there. They say it's a mid-season variety. F6 in 2024. Another catch-eye beauty. Indeterminate plant with regular leaf foliage. Fruits are yellow-colored, covered with strokes of anthocyanin. Very sweet and juicy flesh. Has anybody grown this one? Or you intend to grow it? No, maybe not. I didn't think I created a breeder resource sheet for Sophia that we have in our group guides with all of her varieties to date. And then I made a copy of that and a checklist. So I go down with my own Sophia collection. And I was going down it today and saw Very Sweet Blues and it wasn't checked off. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've got this. And I did find it from, no, I'm doubting. Maybe it was from TOMATO AWESOMESAUCE. Here, oh, it's sitting right here. It was from TOMATO AWESOMESAUCE. This is Very Sweet Blues. So I don't know if they still have them in stock or not, but I know Croatian Seed Store does, and I have that link for anybody that's able to order. I know you, our friends in Europe, you should be able to order from Croatian Seed Store, I believe. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, Very Sweet Blues. Okay, I just put in the comments, this should be a direct link for it at Croatian Seed Store. You have this one for next year, Sue, Very Sweet Blues. And Pretty, I have Very Sweet Blues on my grow list for next year. It's going to be tough for me to narrow down my Sophia varieties. If I have to at all, it may be Bill Yoder, it may be Sophia, Spanish Pinks, and the, stuff I'm breeding Lauren, Kina, Jennifer, Rob's Leprechaun keeps filling up. Hope's Heart keeps filling up. Sure, you like the description for Sicilian Mirinda. I agree. Oh, and yes, good point. Pretty ordered mine from Graf Samina. She's got an awful lot of Sophia varieties as well. Thank you. Okay, let me see where we're at here. Okay. This is an interesting sounding one, and this is the one you can get at Bounty Hunter Seeds. I first found out about it through a site called Casey's Heirlooms. They don't have it in stock, haven't for a while. I'm showing a lot of reds lately, aren't I? But they've got good stories. This is from Uzbekistan. And from Casey's Heirlooms, they say, I received this variety from a fellow tomato grower with the name of Yusupovsky S. Fergani, meaning Mr. Yusupov of Fergani, a region in eastern Uzbekistan. However, it is also referred to as Yusupov, and that's how Sean has it on Bounty Hunter Seeds, by the way, Yusupov. However, in recognition of a selection that Karim Yusupov, a famous vegetable breeder from the Uzbek Research Institute of Vegetables and Gourds, I believe I have found the tomato for my taste buds. This is Casey's Heirlooms. This variety is absolutely divine. So meaty, juicy, and sweet. Fruit size just over 400 grams or 14 ounces, all the way up to 550 grams or 19 ounces, averaging 4 fruits per truss. Bounty Hunter Seeds, Sean says it is said this tomato is a selection by Karim Yusupov, legendary breeder, late season tomato plant, regular leaf foliage, indeterminate red beefsteak tomatoes. Our weights average from 8 to 10 ounces. Some have stated they could get up to 28 ounces. They have a sweet old-timey taste with a touch of acidity. Anybody grown this one? They do, Teresa. Do they have Tomato Faifu has some of her tomatoes too. They do they have them in stock? Most of what they have seems to be just resource, and they're not releasing any new tomatoes this year, so I'm told. They've had some health issues, and then another company teamed up with them to help them out last year, but the main contact I had, she left, so I don't know what's going on over there. But I know they've got Jarsons, they've got all kinds of things on there, but they do sell things, but it seems like most of what I find there is just for resource and not in stock. But I have seen sweet caramel Sophia there, maybe. Oh, Yvette, you grew this one this year. Good one. Good to know. Very good to know. So we love a good story. We sure do. Oh, Satya says Carolina's Paradise has this one too. Good to know. She's on Etsy. And she's Lydia, the owner, Lydia Stafford, says it has wonderful flavor. Good to know. No, they're down to 2 varieties. It's a shame. I love their site. Tomato Faifu. I was excited last year when they reopened and had some new things. I got Krimsky Malahit from there, which was one of my most anticipated of the year. Cross between Malachite Box and Black Krim. I found it a little disappointing, but I was so excited to get that from there. Placed a nice big order from there. I ordered a couple things. Well, I ordered more than a couple things from there, but I grew a couple things from there. Black Yum Yum, I think, came from there. Mariana's Peace and Cherokee Purple Cross came from there. So yeah, hopefully they get their business going. Another thing I want to mention, Heritage Seed Market, maybe I mentioned it already, but Heritage Seed Market or Bunny Hop Seeds, they're going to have a sale too, and I'm hoping to do an unboxing, but I don't think I'll get the order in time for the for the sale, but hold off if you're looking to order anything from them, Heritage Seed Market. She's going to be offering a sale also starting Black Friday, which is actually a week from tomorrow. And it goes for, I think, a week. And I want to say she said 20% off. I will put a reminder in the group, but she's not, what's the word? She's not announcing or unveiling any new micro dwarfs this year, but she does have some nice things that she's offering, some new things. She's not done uploading new things yet, so just hold off for all of you looking to place an order with her. Teresa, mossy oak look like you, meaning looks like a me tomato. I agree. I haven't grown it. I don't know why, but it does look like a me tomato. Okay. The next one's should be another Sophia. Here it is. This one's been on my wish list since I first saw the Triumph of Sophia. There's Sophia's Temptation and Sophia's Triumph. Ugh, look at this thing. Absolutely stunning. I mean, I don't even know if I need to read anything. Just look at it. Look at it. This is from Sophia's website. She does not sell outside of Russia, and she's not taking sales at the moment. She's just a one woman business, she says. So she doesn't have anything for sale, and when she does, it's only within Russia. But others may come up with it. I know Sophia's Temptations, not hard to find. This one I haven't seen. I'm not sure if I've seen it anywhere. Am I getting them mixed up though? Triumph is the one that I was super excited about. I'm not sure. But you know what? Every day I look at Tomato Eden and she comes out with like 20 new varieties. And I'm just like, this woman's like a wizard. She's incredible. She's just incredible. So this is another F6. Almost stable, she says, mid-season, bush 1.8 meters in a greenhouse. Fruits are 200 to 500 grams. She says this is her favorite, and that's what makes me want to grow it the most. It's Sophia's favorite. Emerald beak, painted with patterns of raspberry, red, yellow. From such a beauty, it takes your breath away. Pulp is 3-colored, juicy and tasty. The favorite of my collection. Almost stable. Who cares? Stable schmable, right? We want it. Olivia, Triumph is amazing looking. I completely agree. Deb, yep. Yeah, this is a Deb tomato. It's a Lauren tomato for sure. It's a Kina tomato. It is. Oh, it's Kina. Say goodnight somewhere. Good night, Kina. Yeah, this is absolutely breathtaking. So hopefully somebody will come out with it soon. She's got so many, and like I said, they're all F6. So she's a busy woman, or they all seem to be F6. All right, this next one I've talked about before, but it's been many months, and I wanted to bring it up again because you can buy it. This is my friend Bill Yoder. He has given me a handful of things that he says I must grow. And when I was telling him this year that his Suffer Well is now my favorite tomato of all time, he said, wait till you get a load of a variety called Beefy Purple. And I'm like, what the heck is Beefy Purple? And then I looked at it and I'm like, well, it looks good. But he's like, no, you need to taste it. He said it may be just one of the best tomatoes he's ever tasted. So Mark McCaslin of Frog's Leap Farm is the breeder of this. He does it with AP Whaley. And I'll have a link to purchase from them in a minute. They do have them in stock. They've got this whole cream of the crop series. Bill says it's one of the best tomatoes he's ever had. Mouth-watering, open-pollinated gem that captures attention within the expansive cream of the crop breeding program. Made its debut right here in 2024. Determinate regular leaf tomato plant. I think it's a dwarf too. Let's read on. Regular leaf tomato plant delivers sizable mahogany purple fruits with green stripes. Delectable purple beefsteak tomato not only captivates with its unique appearance, but also possesses a well-balanced taste that promises a delightful culinary experience. What sets them apart is their remarkable storage capability, making them an invaluable addition for farmers markets looking to extend the shelf life of their produce. This reminds me just of exactly like Fred Hempel. He was doing that with his Benevento and other more recent things he was coming out with. He wanted to give the farmers markets and then the, people at some of the finer grocery stores a taste of what a real tomato should taste like. But he's competing with tomatoes that, they're picked when green and then they're gassed and tasteless. And he bred, and sounds like Mark is doing the same thing with this line, so that they can withstand to transportation and deliver tomatoes. So I would assume that, like, I loved Benevento. The skin was a bit chewy, but I was willing to overlook it because it tasted so good. 60 to 75 days, offering a relatively quick turnaround for those eager to enjoy the harvest. And then the cream of the crop project, collaborative effort between AP Willie's Seed Company and Frog's Leap Farm, focused on developing tomatoes with superior quality, extended shelf life, disease resistance, and exceptional flavor. Why does it not say it's a dwarf? I could have sworn. We'd have to look that up, but let me get you the link to purchase. I'm pretty sure it's a dwarf, but check me on that. Okay. So you can order these directly from AP Whaley. And they have others, the cream of the crop. I think I got everything from cream of the crop. There's one called Tropical Sunset, I think. Okay. Just put in the comments the direct link to Beefy Purple. It's a determinate. I knew it was a determinate. I was thinking I read dwarf somewhere. Who doesn't love a tomato with... Hi, Harley. Glad you're here. Who doesn't love a tomato with beefy in its name? I agree. And, you just bought seeds for Beefy Purple. Eva, Triumph of Sophia, come to America. We'll make you famous, as if you need that already, Sophia. So honestly, this is one that I would have probably not carried into next year's grow list. But as soon as Bill told me this, I ordered it, and it's going directly on the grow list. Oh, thank you, Little Red Hen. It says 24 to 30 inches, so it is a dwarf. I'm not sure why I don't have that in my notes, unless I'm just overlooking it here. So that's great. Short to ripen, short to grow, determinate. Sounds great to me. I may make it one of my garage tomatoes next season. For those of you that don't know, I started 2 years ago. This was my second year doing it. I start certain dwarfs earlier than others. And then once the sun's out, during the day, even if frost comes at night, so I put them in grow bags, and then I bring them out during the day and I drag them into the garage at night. And I end up with early tomatoes. I've done it 2 years in a row. The first year I did it with a couple dwarfs, but also some indeterminates. And it just gets too crazy growing it indoors. But growing a dwarf indoors, at my lighting setup, I can handle it getting to a certain point. And then I can put them outside. But this one sounds like it would be a great one to use for my garage tomatoes. Get really early tomatoes. Hi, Darla. That Beefy Purple looks great. Well, Darla, Bill Yoder says it's got loud flavor. Those weren't his actual words, but I know you and we speak our language. I love your garage growing. Thank you. I encourage you guys to try it. If you have the resources, if you're able to drag, grow bags with a plant in and out. It gets tedious, but boy, it is really, really nice to get some tomatoes in June in my neck of the woods. I'm not sure. Have I had any in May? I don't think so. But June, the garage tomatoes. 2 years ago, I got Uluru Ochre. I got Purple Rain. This year I had Dwarf Ochre Heart very early. It's really great. So if you have grow lights that can handle, dwarfs don't get super big, but, I think, when did I start them? I think early February, where my other tomatoes, I've been starting. It gets later and later because I'm finding that I don't need to start so early, but mid-April is when I started them this past year, and I staggered them, which worked really great for me too. Have to try that. My Happy Place. Yeah, they've got a nice site, the AP Whaley, too. So check them out. Mark McCaslin's a very talented breeder also. I don't talk about him enough, but Frog's Leap Farm's a great place. Okay. Is that it? Nope, we got one more. It's funny that I think that the show is going to be done in a timely manner. It's like almost 2 hours at this point. I just can't. When I describe to people, like my parents, and Rob knows me, he knows the deal. I'm like, I sit there and I talk with my tomato head friends for a couple hours. I could be on every day during the week and people are there and we just have fun. I never thought this would happen, but it really is nice. I'm so honored that you guys choose to tune in and that you're able to, and hope that, for me, you help me forget about my troubles for a while. So I hope I do that with you as well. Okay. The next one's definitely a dwarf. It's called Kip's Stripes. This one I got from Tomato Revolution in the UK. It is exclusive right now to Tomato Revolution from the UK. Released by the Dwarf Tomato Project. It says a release from the Tiggy line. I'm thinking they meant Twiggy. But if there's a Tiggy line, I'm not well versed on the Dwarf Tomato Project. As crazy as that sounds, I'm just not. And I know they have their different lines. They're named after like the dwarfs and all that, but Tiggy or Twiggy, I don't know. Dwarf regular leaf, mid-season, producing pink fruits with gold stripes between 4 to 10 ounces or 110 to 280 grams. New release from the Tiggy line of the Dwarf Tomato Project, created and stabilized by crossing Tiger Tom and Dwarf Mr. Snow. On the sweeter side of balanced. And then a 2024 release by Tomato Revolution. Last year, they had an exclusive one, too, that I grew called Great Scott. I talked about this actually during my unboxing with Vienna Seeds, because Sabine, the owner of Vienna Seeds, she grew Great Scott also, and she got a yellow striped. And it's not supposed to be yellow. It's supposed to be pink striped hearts, which is what I ended up getting. So she sells Great Scott, but it's a mutation of Great Scott. So, but I got a few things. It seems like they released maybe 3 or 4 exclusive ones just to Tomato Revolution this year. Oh, did they marry Victory Seeds? Just releases recently. Also, this one, Kip Stripes. Well, that's interesting because Tomato Galaxy says it is exclusive. That is interesting. I'm not surprised. They're the ones that have the relationship with the Dwarf Tomato Project and Craig, but yeah, that's interesting. Let me give you the link to purchase from Tomato Revolution, and then you can check out Victory Seeds also, which may be easier. Okay, I just put the... No, I didn't. I keep writing comments in a private chat just to myself. I don't need that. Okay, here it is now in the comments. I think. Yes. Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. When do you start the garage tomatoes? Last year I started them early February. And actually Bill Yoder had asked, he was growing out some of his Sufferwell plants, which is a potato leaf. This past year was New Year for that. And he thought maybe he was getting some variation in the leaves. So I told him I would try growing it out just to see. And it was potato leaf like it was supposed to be. And I just couldn't bring myself to kill it. So I started that in early February, and that was interesting growing that. That was not a dwarf. And also a member of ours from the group was having issues with the bacon lettuce and this tomato seeds that I sent her. None of them were germinating. So I just did a test and I got 100% germination in soil. Got 9 seedlings over there. What am I going to do with it? I can't, I mean, it's not even December yet. There's nothing I can do with it. And I need to throw them in the garbage because every day it goes on, it gets harder and harder. I mean, that one, there's no way I can grow it indoors. Wish I could. Fantastic variety. All right, I guess that's it. That is all I've got. So let's take a look at those. If anybody has any questions on these. So we've had Kip Stripes, Cream of the Crop Beefy Purple, Triumph of Sophia. Oh, can you, I mean, it might be the most beautiful tomato I've ever seen. Look at the colors. Sophia's site has great colors. She's a good photographer. Yusupov or Yusupovsky S. Fragani. Cecilia Morinda or Morinda. Gotta look for this one. This sounds really cool. And then we've got the 2 with the OG gene from Common Sense Seeds, Harvest V and V Pro. And Old Carolina, also known as Nell Bryson. So there we go. Another episode in the books of Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. What will be next week? We won't know, but join in. Hopefully you can join Jen and I tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That would be 4 o'clock Pacific, 10 p.m. UK time, and 11 p.m. No. Yes. No. I'm sorry. 12 midnight. I'm thinking of 4 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. Midnight UK, and then 1 a.m. Kina time, Central European Standard Time. So I hope you guys can join us. If you cannot, we record it. So we'll have some more awesome sauce varieties to show you, stuff we're excited to grow for next year. And that's it. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. I will see. Oh, Jen joined. Jen, you joined. I'm signing off. So glad to see you, buddy. Can't wait to talk more tomatoes with you tomorrow. Love you. Love all of you. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody.